All right, starting. Stream health. Green circle, it looks good. Yay! Are we on? Are we live? Elapsed time, -3 seconds. That's not mathematically possible. Hi. It's Michelle, aka Chat-Mort, as usual, and surprise, here I am. I decided to stream today just because I felt good. I'm feeling peppy, and I just wanted to say hello to you guys and see how everyone is, which would probably work better if I had some people here. So give me a minute. Let me send this out to Twitter and see if anybody will come over. This is always hard to do. I don't know if I'm doing it the right way, but what I do is when I want to share the fact that I'm streaming, I open like a new YouTube tab, and then I go to my profile page. I just heard a strange noise. I think it's our neighbor's dryer. Okay. Let me open that on here too. Yeah, and then once I get to like my channel, then I go to the new, like the live stream, and then I share it from the share link there like I do normal videos. I haven't the slightest idea if that's the best way to do it, but that's how I do it. So, hi. Yeah, I just thought I would come and hang out and see if anybody was around and bored and needing, you know, very low quality entertainment. It looks like I might be dropping some frames, so please, as always, don't hesitate to let me know if there are any issues with sound quality or video quality. As you can see, I titled this video Monday afternoon stream, clearly, and also a girly stuff, because I've got some girly stuff to do. That sounds a lot more interesting than it is. But anyway, yeah, just please let me know if there are any issues with the quality or buffering or anything like that. So yeah, I got a notification today that this got here. And this is from, I don't know. I've never been to like shophush.com, but Hush is this app where you can order makeup that's extremely inexpensive. And, you know, I mean, considering my financial situation, extremely inexpensive is pretty much a defining factor in whether I'm going to own a certain kind of makeup or not. So, yeah, this app is really cool because, like, some makeup is just so obscenely expensive, it's horrifying. Like, some of the eyeshadow palettes and stuff, let me show you. Pardon, my old Mike's Limeade bottle. Like, stuff like this. Like, this is one of the palettes that girly girls will talk about constantly. And like the Anastasia Beverly Hills brand palettes are like $50 a piece. And people pay it. People pay it for like 12 tiny little things of different eyeshadow colors. Anyway, so this app has like cheap off-brand, basically duplicates of those expensive palettes for like 10 bucks a piece. So anyway, that's kind of how I came across that app. I'm trying to open the box with this pen by like drawing over the tape and tearing it open. So yeah, I got the app, and I mean, because it's basically a website that sells like knockoffs of like high-end products. Some of their stuff is not that great of quality, but some of it is fantastic quality, actually. Some of the stuff I think is comparable to the obscenely expensive name brand stuff. So, I'm struggling to open it. I wanted to open this with you guys, because why the heck not? I'm excited. It's fun. I love makeup. I'm trying really hard to steer myself away from doing any girly content on this channel, just because You know, I mean, the two crowds, like the people who are worried about our democracy, our liberty being lost, and the people who, you know, want to know like what eyeshadows work well, or, you know, what lip gloss is like the coolest that's going to come out in the next season or something. Those don't tend to be crowds that overlap ever. So I'm trying to kind of stay on task with my channel. Oh my god, I can't. Oh, I did it. I got it. Okay. I'm gonna try not to like hit the microphone and deafen the few people watching here. Okay. Well, the box is maimed. I won't be reusing the box for anything. And the app is really cool because it shows you like when your stuff, like when the order is placed, when it's being packed, then it'll show you like when it's shipping, and then when it's out for delivery. So, you know, once it's out for delivery, then it's time to like lose your mind and not be able to focus on anything for the rest of the day. Bubble wrap, of course, is better than any of the products I have purchased. Oh my gosh, they're so pretty. Oh, yay! I got some really cheap lipsticks in a couple colors that I thought would look good on me. You can't really see the colors very well. Everything is extremely washed out. Because like the only real light source I have when I do my streaming is just my monitors. It's nice because I've got two monitors, you know, kind of angled like together toward each other facing me. So it kind of mimics the lighting that's optimal for streaming. But then it washes me out and I just look very pale because you know, it's not like umbrella lights or whatever. So I apologize. The stuff is always washed out on here. But like, I mean, some places, and I'm going to make a video that kind of references this just because there was a sort of like political social justice thing that happened like within the makeup industry. So yeah, I'm doing a video on that soon. But like, there are companies where like you can buy a tube of lipstick that's like $24. Like $24 for a tube of lipstick this big. There are other companies where they're like $30 for a tube of lipstick. Why? 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 Like, it's obscene. It's just absurd, you know, and if you've got the money to spend, go for it, you know, like if you've earned that money, and you choose to spend it on obscenely expensive, overpriced makeup, that's fine, you know, if that's like what matters to you, if the brand name matters more than just getting, you know, the equivalent or basically the same product that's like a generic brand for like 1% of the price, that's fine. Like, you can do whatever you want, but I don't know, it's just unfathomable to me. Unfathomable. I've been dropping a lot of syllables lately. That's not dropping frames, that's just my inability to use my native language that I use daily. But yeah, I can't comprehend why people would spend, you know, like $50 on an eyeshadow palette. I say that, but I've got the eyeshadow palette here. But like, if I could get like a duplicate of this or a knockoff, like a generic brand of this $50 palette, and it was the same quality, why in a million years would you ever, just to get like the fancy schmancy brand name, spend $50? It is beyond comprehension to me. Anyway, so I got some new stuff and it's pretty. I have to say, like all through high school and through middle school, I always liked colors like this for lips. Things that are like kind of a seafoam salmon color, like an orangey peachy color. I always gravitated toward that color like for lipstick and stuff, and I wore it a lot. And like in The Sims 2, I would always give women like super dark eye makeup and then like a nude lip, because for some reason I thought that was a cool style. I don't know what I was thinking. But I've always gravitated toward that color, and it took me until the last couple years to actually kind of come to terms with the fact that I look awful in that lip color. I just look like I blacked out and came to in like a giant pile of Cheeto dust. It just looks like I've been eating Cheetos. So I'm trying to gravitate away from that color. I don't know. I've never been good at like knowing what colors of makeup, of eyeshadow, of lip color, of like cheek color, blush or whatever, I've never known how to tell whether they look good on me or not. I don't know. I've always been an artsy person. You know, I've always been an extremely creative person. What's going on? Tech support husbando may have discovered that I'm streaming. I don't know. Maybe not. Ew. My phone is covered in contact solution because I was putting my contacts in with my phone sitting on the sink counter, and like, you know how contact solution, when it dries, it like crystallizes and gets all gross and like crusty. But because I'm so creative, I'm not bragging, I just love like creative things, because I'm always drawing things in any medium I can, writing, anything like that. I can't like get over my own love of certain colors and my being drawn towards certain colors. Like I can't get over that. I can't separate that from just like objectively trying some product on and being like, this color actually looks good on my skin tone. You know, that's very hard for me. I don't pick out clothing that way either. Like, I mean, I know I look okay in pink, but like, I mean, as pale as I am, like these are like negative amounts of melanin. You see how pale I am? Like, I'm probably like one of the top 5 palest people I've ever met in my life. You know, I mean, I've never met an albino person, so that's about the only way you could be more pale than me, but it's really hard for me to find like clothing even that I look good in. And a lot of the colors I look good in, I just don't gravitate toward at all. Like, if I didn't have to have a variety of like shirt colors and pants colors just for practicality, I would just have like big cozy gray things, or like gray things with stripes. I have probably dozens of shirts that are just gray with stripes, because gray is just, it's a soft, safe, sleepy, cozy color. And I love it. I love it. And I've been struggling to get this stupid lip product open. Oh, I got it. Okay. But yeah, I've never been able to separate my love of certain colors from the fact that you look like an actual corpse in those colors. So, I'm trying to get over that by trying some of these lip products. I don't know. So yeah, this was like $7. So this was a you know, slightly pricier product, but like these ones, dear God, these colors that I bought these are $2 a piece. $2 for a whole stick of lipstick. So I thought I'd get them. I thought I'd try them. I've been going through phases where, like, a year ago, where I've been working now, I've been there for almost a year, so a little over a year ago, I think, I went through one of those phases where I did, like, a full face of makeup every day, you know, like the cream, and then the powder over it, and the blush, and then, like, the like, powder that you put on the beauty sponge. You know, you'll see women doing that, and they look like vampires. I would do all that, like, every day. I wanted to. It was fun. I enjoyed it. And then, like, the last couple months, I just have not wanted to do makeup hardly at all. Like, I mean, I look bad without makeup. I look like a prepubescent boy just because of my kind of, like, harsh bone structure, and because I have such fair hair. Like, I have a lot of friends who are brunettes, and they look pretty without makeup. You know, like, if your eyelashes are a dark color, they frame your eyes and look good. My eyelashes are like see-through, so they don't emphasize my eyes at all. You know, I look very weird. I look like something went horribly wrong without makeup. So even when I don't like want to put the effort in, I will take like a little bit of product. Like, I'll put like a little bit of brown in my eyebrows just to emphasize them, because I look like Gara. I straight up look like Gara, unless I put color in my eyebrows, because they're so fair. And I'll do a little bit of mascara, you know, like that. That's like the absolute minimum. And once I do that, I feel like I look okay, you know. But I haven't been very cognizant of it lately, I guess, but it's finally kind of occurred to me recently that I think that has sort of correlated, like, my lack of interest in doing my makeup and like you know, purdying myself up. It's kind of corresponded with my lack of self-esteem, and not so much my lack of self-esteem, but just my depression, you know? So I'm kind of, it seems silly, but I'm kind of trying to get back into doing my makeup, you know, and just styling my hair and, you know, wearing a nice necklace every once in a while, and trying to keep my nails painted. That's obviously not happening right now. This is not a good example of a time of painted nails, but I think that for me, those are kind of an important part of self-care, you know, like forcing myself to do sort of nice, unnecessary, like pampery things to myself. I think that'll be good for me. So I'm trying to get back into that. I'm trying to, plus, if I want to do my makeup every day, I have to set aside time for that. And that's kind of like meditative quiet time. And, you know, the more quiet time you have to an extent, the better off you'll feel. Not to the extreme where you have nothing to do or you have too much free time, but I think people tend to rush a lot, and like as far as the kind of like mindfulness things I have learned, those techniques and sort of meditative techniques to help you cope with stress and trauma and other, you know, melodramatic sounding things that you could be hospitalized for. It's important to not do everything at once. And hold on. We as a culture, like, we're always doing multiple things at once. I'm always doing multiple things at once. When I lived at home with my mom, like, she was always frustrated because I would never just sit and watch a movie. I had to have my laptop open, or at least be on my phone, or have a notebook and be drawing or writing at the same time. Like, I could not just sit and watch TV. I'm always doing two things at once. Like, if I'm watching TV, even if it's something like I recorded, that I set up to record and, you know, made a point to watch, I'm still playing on my phone, or I'm still writing or drawing at the same time. You know, when I'm doing my makeup in the morning, or just when I'm like stumbling around trying to wake up getting dressed in the morning, I find a stream of like YouTubers I like, and I have it playing. Like, I can't get my day started unless I have a bunch of stuff going on in the background. And for me, one of the reasons why from when I was very small I wanted to live in New York City, I still do. I've never felt as in sync with the place as I have with New York City, but obviously, you know, expense-wise and politics-wise, I'm never going to live there. It's just not going to happen. But because I naturally have such a low energy level, and I have such a tendency toward being depressed and understimulated, it's good for me to have background noise, to have movement and excitement and activity, because it perks me up, you know, it energizes me to be surrounded by stimulating things like that. But at the same time, you need to learn how to kind of like sit with yourself and just be quiet and kind of peaceful. And it's sort of a meditative thing to do, to just focus on one thing, to wholly immerse yourself in taking a walk, or doing the dishes, or just washing clothing. You know, you focus on the sensory input you are receiving, and that's a really good way to practice mindfulness. Because a lot of the time when you get overwhelmed and you have anxiety issues, or you just are super stressed out, it's because you have, you know, a million different things running through your head at once, and that becomes overwhelming very quickly, and it's very hard to grasp hold of anything in order to break it down into those steps where you're like, well, I can do this way, and I'll do this day, and I'll set aside time to do this at this time, and this is the best way to do that. Like, you can't get control of those things unless you are able to sort of break them down and isolate them. And when you're just in a complete frenzy mentally and you've got 800 things going on at once, you just can't do that. So, you know, I think what am I doing? I'll put a little, no, I can't do that. I was going to put some of this stuff on, this chapstick, but it's like tinted, so it'll mess up the lip product I want to try here. But anyway, that was all kind of meandering, and I went a bunch of different places with that. But I think I think if I force myself to do my makeup a little more often, for me that is kind of a form of therapeutic mindfulness practice almost. If I am focusing wholly on just doing this one thing at a time, that can be extremely helpful and extremely soothing for people. So I'm going to do that. Also, so yeah, I got these lipsticks. Come on, somebody in the chat, say something. Don't, even if you're just gonna like put me on another tab muted just because you feel bad for me, say something in the chat. Let me know if my sound and video is okay. Anything. Spam memes, I don't care. So I got these, and I got this just because it's a pretty color. Definitely doesn't look quite the same as it did on the app, but it's still pretty. And then the one thing I'm super excited about that I keep telling tech support husband about that he wants to murder me over because I won't shut up and he does not care about makeup is this palette. I don't even know like what this eyeshadow palette is like a cheap version of. It might be like Lime Crime brand eyeshadow palettes, but this is super pretty and I'm too old for this. But I can't really make myself gravitate toward like neutral, natural, subtle colors for my eyes. I'm an adult child and I like things like this. Like, you know, like seizure-inducing colors. This is my stuff. This is what I want to do with my life. It smells like a car wash. That's very odd. Anyway, I was just like super psyched to get these eyeshadows because they're so pretty and I love them. So I don't know. I just thought I would hang out with you guys briefly and say hello and stuff. Okay, thank you G Money. The sound and video is okay. I appreciate that. Big String of Numbers, who I think I've talked to before, says, I'm Googling knockoff options for your makeup. Seems you get what you pay for. Sometimes, yes. You know, most of the time that is the case. Hold on. But then there are also some really decent alternatives to those super expensive products. Like, I want to show you something I've got here. I'm trying so hard not to bump the mic. I don't want to make you guys go deaf. I really don't. Like, this I got from that app, and this is obviously not sponsored. Like, I shouldn't have to say that with 600 subscribers and, like, an average of 40 views a video, but I just want to put it out there. Obviously, this isn't sponsored, but I got this palette from the same app, and this is it's a dupe of one of the Urban Decay, like, highlighter palettes. And for those of you who are normally on my channel and have no idea what the hell this is or why I would want it, it's highlighters. Like, these shimmery shades are what you put like on your nose, on your cheekbones, you know, on like your cupid's bow of your lips to give you more dimension, to give yourself that sort of like super dimensional, like carved bone structure look. So like this product, this was like $6 I think for this whole palette, and let me show you, like, this is the dupe or the cheap version of a product that I think is like $40 or $50. Like the actual like name brand version of this, the Urban Decay version of this, is like $50. And these shadows, let me just show you how pigmented they are. Like, if you swipe it and you put it on yourself, like, these products are absolutely, of course you can't see it in this lighting. Why would you be able to? Oh my god, I'm gonna die. This is so frustrating. These products are absolutely beautiful. Like, they are so pigmented. And this palette, like, I'll use these colors like for the inner corner of my eyes and stuff, and I am blown away by how high quality they are. You know, like, this is absolutely satisfactory to me. Like, I'm not going to pay $30 or $40 more for the brand name version of this palette when these colors are this pretty. I'm gonna do the thing they do in the makeup videos where you try and like swatch it to show people how shiny it is. Should I do this side of my arm? See, my skin is so pale you can't see anything. I'll put it on my wrist and try and show you how shiny these are. I don't know if it's gonna work. You can't really see it in this lighting, but these shadows, you can kind of see them ever so slightly, but like, this product is super high quality. Like, why would I pay for the Urban Decay brand equivalent of this, like $40, when I could buy this on that app and, you know, and get it shipped to me for free for like $6. Why would you do it? Now, there are a lot of products where you do get what you pay for. Like it's so funny, all my makeup is around my computer because like while I'm gaming, like I'll play strategy games or watch YouTube videos while I'm doing my makeup. So all my makeup is like within arm's reach. There's only one product out of the like 50 products I've ever bought from this site that I am not satisfied with, and it's this. Like, people always trash this app and say, you know, you get what you pay for, and to an extent you do. But there are a ton of products I've gotten from this site, and there's only one thing I ever got, and this was like $1 for this, like, it's highlighter again, even though it's like it's like hard and it's in a little palette. That's the only product I've ever gotten from the site that I have been dissatisfied with. So, you know, there are some cheap alternatives, and I think a lot of the time when girls, or, you know, guys as well, spend like over $100 on a single eyeshadow palette, or like $60 or $70 on one single like little palette or product, you are usually paying for the brand name, you know, and that's fine. Like, it's not really for me unless it's like a palette I really want, which is extremely rare. You know, I'll get myself like 1 or 2 for Christmas maybe, but you know, it's fine. Like, you can do what you want with your money, and I get, if you've got a ton of money, why wouldn't you go for the brand name? If you're really enthused about it, or you really like the CEO or their marketing techniques or whatever, you know, I get why people would do that. You have your Christmas decorations up early, I see. They're actually up all the time. The Minute Maid carton is a new addition back there. Just because tech support has Bando drinks Minute Maid like by the carton. It's like the peach punch and it's delicious. But yeah, I'm gonna take the penguin off once it gets warmer out, but it's like they're not really like season or like holiday specific decorations or anything. So I'm going to keep them up, or I'm going to keep the tree up year round, just because it's just whimsical and sweet and makes me happy. So it's not really a Christmas tree so much as just a happy tree. Does that make sense? No, not in the slightest. Anyway, hello and stuff. I'm trying to decide which of these colors, or if I should do the like creamy lip color. I know, like, logically, I know like this color would probably look the best on me, just kind of like the boring, dusty pink. But like, I gravitate toward the like fluorescent corals. I don't know. And because I don't have a full face of makeup on, and I've got kind of like a little bit of rosacea and stuff, it's gonna look funny. If I do a certain lip color, whatever. I'm gonna do this stuff just because I want to see how it looks. Penguin needs a rest. I know, the little penguin. He does a good job. He's on lookout duty up there. He makes sure that no shenanigans transpire in the computer room. He doesn't do a very good job of that. So, like, what do we normally talk about on this channel? Wow, that's a very light pink. I like it, though. Now to try it on and see if it was worth the money. Maybe it would work better if my lips weren't so atrociously chapped. Oh boy, this is not good. Only the highest quality content from me, folks. Oh dear. I mean, this color is gorgeous. It's just like I put Blistex lip balm or Carmex on my lips a couple times a day, and my skin is so brittle and dry, and the air is so dry that I still get like this. I look like I'm dying all the time. It's like, it's creamy. That's nice. It's a nice consistency, I guess. But what has been going on that we can discuss? I know, strangely enough, the media is idolizing the North Korean dictator's sister. Is it his sister? I believe she is. So that's fascinating. Like, our media is so bitter and vindictive that, like, they would rather glorify people who are, you know, creating and you know, instituting modern day slavery than agree with, like, our vice president in any way. That is, I mean, I wish it surprised me that our media is just that pathetic, but this is a strange lip color and I'm distracted. I wish it surprised me, but it really doesn't. It just doesn't, you know? That's just how they are. That's just how they are. And it's surreal to me how easily these, like, completely bizarre, nonsensical, contradictory narratives catch on. Like, I don't understand how American society can be so preoccupied with slavery and how evil slavery is. You know, like, all we ever talk about is slavery. Yes, I'm putting, like, new eyeshadow base on top of old eyeshadow because I'm just that cool. Like, all you ever hear about in the media is slavery and how awful slavery was and how evil it was, you know, to the point where people want reparations for something that their great-great-great-grandpa might have gone through. It's probably just as likely that you know, their great-great-great-grandparents were not slaves. Maybe just great-great, I don't know. And it's possible that they were slave owners themselves. The first person to legally be granted ownership by the American courts of another human being as a piece of property was a black man. But, you know, I digress. That's an aside. Like, our society is so preoccupied with making sure that no one ever forgets how awful slavery is, but then, like, we're so vindictive and we despise Mike Pence so much that we're going to glorify somebody who is creating and, like, overseeing slavery to this day, someone who personally has slaves, someone who is in charge of, like, the propaganda arm of the government that shuts down any kind of agitators or dissenters. Ooh, like, that's crazy. That is unbelievable, you know? I mean, I'm not shocked that the media would be that vindictive and that hypocritical, I guess. But I am amazed that people fall for it. You know, I'm amazed at the cognitive dissonance. I cannot fathom how people can exist while, I don't know, while peddling such blatant contradictions. I don't understand it. I can't fathom it. And, like, I'm not trying to say I'm better than any of these people. I mean, I try to be better, but I'm not trying to be better than anybody else. I'm trying to be better than myself. I'm trying to be better than, you know, it's like my inclination to be. I'm trying to be a better person than I was yesterday. So, like, I'm not trying to be judgmental or vindictive of anybody just because of political views, because I'm sure I'm wrong on some stuff too, but, like, I cannot imagine being that hypocritical and being that clueless about it. I can't fathom it. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. You know, everybody is up in arms about the Nefertiti bust being reconstructed. And despite the fact that there are a lot of people who are non-white who may look white or might have passed as white, people are outraged and think that this reconstructed bust of her is whitewashed. You know, that's what people are upset about, that they think that she has white bone structure and just looks white. When there's, like, modern day slavery going on, there are more slaves now than there have ever been in the history of mankind. The sex trade is sickening. It's just so pervasive. It's horrifying, and people don't care about that, you know? People are willing to overlook slavery because they're so vindictive that they want to see some, you know, semi-attractive dictator's sister glaring at Mike Pence. Like, how vindictive do you have to be? Like, I'm sorry, but, you know, even Mike Pence thinking that conversion therapy is a viable option for people of different sexualities is still violating less human rights with that belief than North Korea is on a daily basis. And these people are personally on a daily basis. So I just... Maybe there's something wrong with me. Maybe I'm crazy, but I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't. I've used O'Keeffe's brand of products for severe dry skin and lips. Thank you, Agent 750... 57,000 DM. I will have to look into those. O'Keeffe's brand of products. It's like people are trapped by the past. Yeah, very much so. And it's like... What I don't understand is then there's so much hypocrisy within that. Like, people want to make descendants many generations displaced from the people who were slaves and slave owners responsible for those crimes. And they want to judge you based on the likelihood of your ancestors having either been slaves or slave owners. But at the same time, some of the literature that makes the best case for all humans being equal, and some of the best literature that captures what life was like back then in that time when people could be owned and used as tools by other people, we're getting rid of all that literature because it's offensive. Even that doesn't make any sense. And like, I understand from like a totalitarian progressive ideology, you know, like pushing everyone toward communism by making them petty and fearful and just vindictive toward each other. I get, like, from a progressive standpoint, it makes sense. But if you're somebody who, like, isn't aware that the leaders of these, like, political and social movements are just using you for money and to push America to the breaking point where it's completely run by progressives and, like, a communist utopia, if you're just one of these people who doesn't know that that's what's going on, how do you not see the contradiction in your stances on these things? Like, history is so important, you know. We need to hang on to that literature, and we need to study what it was like back then, because if you don't know what it was like, it's going to happen again. But then, on the other hand, everybody's being judged for these things that happened in the past that they personally had no responsibility for and had no hand in whatsoever. The contradictions are so, like, superbly obvious. It couldn't be any more obvious, and I don't understand how people don't get that. I just don't get it. I just must be stupid or something. I don't get it. You know? Just don't get it. Oh, this color is called Tingle. That's so silly. Oh my gosh, I like it. What color should I use? I don't know what to do. As small children and birds, you know, tend to usually be, I am completely drawn to brilliant colors like this, but I am also, like, hypnotized by them. Like, if there are too many colors or too many exciting, shiny things in a store or in a room, my mind just kind of, like, melts into this comfortable mush, and I'm just amazed and overwhelmed, and I can't think. So I'm struggling to pick colors here. Aftershock. This palette is called Aftershock, but inside, when it's printed very small, it looks like Aftershook, and that's not real words, so I don't know how I feel about that. Oh my gosh, I don't know what to use. I'm not going anywhere after this today. I'm stuck. I don't know what to think. I don't know what to do here. Anyway, while I'm deciding, I wanted to stream today to check in with you guys and just ramble a little bit about all the insanity going on right now, because the video that I wanted to put out today is extremely long. I feel bad about that because my last video was long too. The one that was about my attempt to taper off of Zoloft, you know. This video is even longer than that. It's like an hour maybe, and I think it's one of my better videos because it's just kind of like blogging myself, and it's like taking you with me throughout a normal day in my life. But because of that, I'm able to talk to the camera. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I'm able to talk to the camera and talk to you guys much more casually and naturally because I am just kind of like going about... Sorry, I got a text. Because I'm just kind of like naturally going about my day. It comes off... I come off a lot more naturally than I do on camera usually, which is good because, you know, I'm still pretty painfully awkward in front of a camera despite how experienced I am with it. It makes me nervous and it's weird. I'm not good at talking to people, even though I have a lot of ideas that need talking, you know, to deliver. G Money says, that sounds like an amazing experience from seeing color and shininess. It is. Have you like never gone into a toy store or like some like funny, I don't know, store at the mall for like old ladies with a whole bunch of jewelry or like sequined clothing on it and you're just like, oh, it's amazing. It's incredible to me. This is gorgeous. This is like bright red. Holy crap. I feel like a high schooler again. I wore the craziest makeup in high school. Not really. I mean, yeah, probably I did. But the video I wanted to put up today, because it is just kind of like a day in the life of me, it's really long, and it is going to be a nightmare to export it from PowerDirector. It just takes forever to export anything from PowerDirector, and then it's going to take even longer to upload. So I'm probably going to start that tomorrow, and then maybe put it up Thursday. I just thought I would do something casual today and say hi to you guys to try and, you know, maintain a presence and see how you all were doing. So yeah, and that video that I'm going to put up Thursday also has a ton of my cats in it, which makes me very happy. My cats are my darling babies, and everyone should know them and love them as I do. Otherwise, you're wrong. So there's that. See, now I don't know whether to use Tingle or Sensation. Oh, they're very, very lovely colors. I don't know what to do. My poor fiance is going to get home and be like, you look like a peacock. Are you okay? Did someone punch you in the face? I'll be like, yes, yes, and no. Yes, I'm not sure, and no. I don't know. I'm completely at a loss as to which color to use here. I think, actually, I will use some of the bright yellow color. I'm not sure. So, one of the spectacular things that has gone on is Weibo's new video, Weibo Jones. If you're not subscribed to her, you probably should be, because she is adorable and she is extremely articulate. She does a lot of research and she invokes it in her videos, which is nice because a lot of people will do research but then they don't incorporate it very well into their videos, and they don't explain very well how it's relevant. So she made a video recently on this whole controversy where people are offended and think that the like reconstructed bust of Nefertiti, I believe it's Nefertiti, is whitewashed. People think that. And a lot of people are convinced that the Egyptians were black, which historically they simply were not. The Egyptians actually were slave owners and owned some black slaves, which I think is important to note. I mean, I can understand why it's important for people to have, you know, if you're really immersed, oh my god, these colors are amazing, I'm gonna have a seizure, they're so big. They're big colors. Big colors! Do you think I have Never mind. So anyway, I can see why if you, you know, are really immersed in your culture and feel a lot of pride in it, and are inspired by historical figures and stuff, I can see why it would be important to feel like you had powerful figures to look up to inspire you. At the same time, when the Egyptians were slave owners, and they also enslaved, you know, African people, that's kind of awful, and that should not be erased from history to fabricate like a powerful figure to look up to. You know, there are plenty of incredible, inspiring, brilliant African American people who have changed the world, you know, for the better in ways that, you know, we wouldn't be here without. But, you know, to pretend that people who were not of a certain race were, and to pretend that people who had slaves, which is, you know, a gargantuan human rights violation, didn't have slaves, is very odd, you know. It kind of goes to the same point that it's not wise to take books like To Kill a Mockingbird out of school. You know, you can't erase history. You just can't. Otherwise you're doomed to repeat it. And, you know, all of these false narratives about different people supposedly existing that were of certain races, they are not doing any good, you know? Rewriting history to fit your narrative doesn't do anybody any good. So, I don't understand it. I'm gonna spray this stuff. For those of you who end up watching this, it's just like water and silica in a little spray bottle. But it like sets your makeup in place, so excuse me for a minute. So I don't know, I'm flabbergasted. And when you read the comments on her video, there is not a doubt in people's minds that the pharaohs, including Nefertiti herself, were black, were dark-skinned. These people are convinced of this despite all of the historical evidence to the contrary. And it's just bizarre. It's just bizarre. It's like, how can you lack the self-awareness and the, like, integrity to believe something that there's no historical proof of? Like, how can you believe with complete certainty that the narrative that happens to fit your agenda is true beyond a shadow of a doubt? I don't understand how anybody could have that little intellectual honesty. And I just don't understand how people can go through their whole lives just, you know, like picking and choosing, like you're shopping for clothing or something, the narratives that just happen to make you feel good and that validate your, you know, your own agenda or what you wish was the case, or picking out narratives that validate your bitterness. But then I mean, I can't fathom being that way myself, but I do understand that a lot of social justice, the reason why it appeals to so many people is because it validates rage. And it justifies not working through your anger. It justifies letting it fester and letting it control you. It, you know, bitterness, jealousy, resentment, all of that. Social justice tells you that you are being a good person and you are doing the right thing by succumbing to and letting anger and jealousy and resentment define you. And I think anger is kind of one of the baser human emotions. I think anger feels really, really good in a primal way. You know, like being overtaken by a blinding rage, it feels really, really good in a primal way, you know? It's a lot harder to put yourself into, I don't know, it's a lot harder to try to find like peace or reverence or just cheerfulness. Those are things you really have to work at to achieve and to maintain. You know, I mean, most of us aren't happy. Most of us go our whole lives searching for that one thing that we think will make us happy, without realizing that you have to work for happiness, and happiness is something that you have to create and nurture in whatever environment you happen to be in at this stage in your life. So, you know, it's easy to be angry. It's easy to succumb to your anger and to be fearful of people you don't understand. You know, whether that's like white people, or whether that's rich people, or whether that's just people from another country or whatever. You know, it feels good and it's easy. You know, those things come naturally to people. It's trying to be understanding and respectful, and it's the trying to challenge your own biases and trying to research things from all different sides of the argument to find the truth that's hard to do, you know, that takes a lot of work, and, you know, breaking down your own biases and questioning your own beliefs and trying to even be self-aware enough to identify your biases to be able to like start that process. It's very hard. It's very hard work, and it makes you feel small. It makes you feel inadequate. It makes you feel incompetent. But the thing is, we are all small and inconsequential and inadequate and incompetent. We all are. And the most empowering thing you can do is realize that and recognize that you'll never be able to digest all of the information out there, and you're never going to be right about everything. But social justice, you know, those progressive movements, those grassroots movements that are in actuality completely manufactured by progressives who, you know, they rise to the top of and fund these movements. George Soros, various like LGBT representatives and leftist politicians. Those movements make you feel big. They make you feel like you are part of an unstoppable tide of righteousness. They make you feel the kind of delusion that ruins you and keeps you angry and bitter and fearful and ignorant your whole life, you know? When you feel powerful and you feel like you are, you know, beyond reproach, and you are right about everything, and you are morally righteous about literally everything that's ever happened, you become a pawn, like so many of these people are, who fall for the progressive rhetoric, you know, that like all LGBT people need to be part of this one movement, you know, and they all have to have this one political persuasion, stuff like that. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, that's why those things are so popular. But it just, and I know I'm very far from being right or like enlightened, you know. There are always going to be things that I am wrong about. Biases are always going to color my own perception of things. But I can't imagine not trying your hardest to be objective about things, and I can't imagine not wanting to humble yourself in order to open your mind to studying different like philosophical perspectives and studying history and anthropology and stuff like that. I can't fathom like wanting to deceive yourself into thinking that you're right about everything and know everything, as opposed to being open to learning. I can't fathom it, just because personally the way I've always tried to live my life is being open-minded and stuff. 10 INTM, I believe that's your name. Hi, you should reach out to Weibo Jones, who recently did a pretty good video on the Nefertiti reaction. Maybe get in on one of her live chats as a guest. Oh, I would like that. I love Weibo's videos. She's so cute and charming and articulate. I'm just going to sound like a creepy fangirl now. Now I'm going in. Where did you go? It's you with all the numbers in your name. You. I'm using the shiny palette I was telling you about earlier. I don't know what color to use. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, I would love to do that sometime. She is so well researched, you know, and a lot of people in that kind of like genre talk about more philosophical stuff, or, you know, they talk about political stuff within the constraints of like our current time period and our current political system. You know, everybody just talks about American politics and, you know, geopolitical events of the very recent past. So for somebody to actually do a bunch of research and to show those studies where she got what she has and stuff it's very refreshing, you know, and sadly it's a very unique thing. I need a mirror. I closed one of my mirrors. But yeah, I would love to do that. I love Weibo's content, and her presentation style is interesting too. You know, you kind of feel like you're attending a lecture, or she treats every video like the kind of presentation that you would give if you were, you know, you were trying to give like a research presentation. And it's kind of nice and refreshing not to be just sort of entertained. You know, it's so different from the way a lot of people do things. A lot of people just make it like a super chill conversation, to where it feels like you're just hanging out with a friend who happens to start rambling about something they're passionate about. Or you have people like Shoeonhead who are like yelling and bouncing around and using slapstick comedy like a Disney Channel, I don't know, like live action comedy show. So I don't know, to see people like Weibo treating adults like adults, you know, who are capable of thought. And I don't mean to like belittle other presentation styles, because I know there are a ton of them, but it's really refreshing, just her presentation style alone, you know. It makes you feel like an adult, and it makes you feel like you're not being condescended to, I guess. Would you ever cut your hair super short? It is the latest trend. What do you think? That's kind of a random question. Actually, I've thought about that a lot. My hair used to be like 2 feet long. It's not now. I've been keeping it a little bit shorter because it looks thin when it's longer, obviously. Other than like trimming a couple inches off when I have split ends, I've never had my hair cut in my life. I've always had it long. And I actually really have thought about like getting my hair in a bob, you know, like a little bit shorter in the back, and then, you know, almost like, I don't know, like not like the soccer mom, you know, I'm ready to verbally assault a 6th grader haircut necessarily, but a lot shorter in the back and then a lot longer like down to the front to where my neck would be exposed some, like that maybe. I think I would look really good that way. And I've kind of always wanted to try that hairstyle. So maybe someday, I'm not sure. If I were to donate the rest of my hair to charity, probably. But like, I have really fine, you know, fair hair. So in the winter, like, I mean, my split ends, you'd have to trim like 3 inches off my hair to get it healthy again. So I don't even know if I've got hair long enough that I could like donate it at this point. But if I could do that, I'd probably be more inclined to get my hair like chopped off. Pardon me. I hope that wasn't loud. I've been doing that thing lately where you've got just like the littlest tickle in the back of your throat, and no matter how much you clear your throat or cough or drink water, it just won't go away and makes me want to die. That would be a great idea. Well, thank you. And thank you for showing up. Is your name George? Jorg? I don't know. Hi. Yeah, I've thought about that, and it's like, I always had my hair long, and then I got picked on it a little bit. Like, you know how little girls will have long hair, or at least here in America, a lot of the time they do. You know, like long, flowy, whimsical hair, and they look like a little, you know, magical sprite or something frolicking around. And then you get to a certain point, you know, in like late elementary school or middle school, and the very grown-up thing to do is to have hair to about here. So all the cool girls were getting their hair cut, and everyone's like, oh, it's so cute, it's so cute. You know, everybody got their hair cut to here, or even a little bit shorter. And then when that became the thing, and we were all supposed to suddenly pretend that we were mature grown-ups, even though we were, you know, kids, completely kids in every way, then I got picked on for that a little bit. You know, all the girls were like, well, her hair is too long. It's so silly. It looks so ridiculous. So I kind of like internalized that. Like I had a lot of anger issues as a kid, and I didn't deal with getting picked on well. So part of like wearing dark makeup and wearing like geeky stuff like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh shirts to school, and part of the reason I kept my hair long was like out of defiance, you know, to kind of, I guess, go against the people who were trying to like bully me into conforming or just picking on me because I was different. So I've internalized a lot of that and kind of made it my identity, which isn't healthy, you know, because you should never let somebody's negative opinions of you alter like how you behave or what you choose to do in your own life. So, you know, in some ways, because I feel like part of the reason I keep my hair long is just because of that, because I was always picked on and out of defiance. I feel like maybe if I ever did get my hair cut short, like you suggested, that would be kind of freeing, you know, in a symbolic way. That would be kind of as if I were letting go of all the anger and bitterness about all of the really crappy stuff that happened in my childhood and growing up. So maybe someday. Hi, World Economic Forum. I've never seen you around here before. Welcome. I'm just rambling about girly things and some political things. So yeah, I mean, I've got weird bone I'm not saying anything that you guys haven't noticed. I've got weird bone structure, you know? Like, when I go to kiss my fiance, he is like my chin and my nose, like between those two, if I can even reach him, it's a miracle. Like my chin, you know Kevin from Ed, Edd n Eddy? No, my chin, if I tripped and fell, I would punch a hole in a wall. I could dislocate somebody's soul from their body, you know? So like, I think with my bone structure, I would look really cute with a bob like that. You know, I think it would be flattering. And my hair is very flat, and part of that is because the longer your hair is, the flatter it is, because it's pulling itself down, it's weighing itself down. So I think my hair would have a lot more body if I had it cut short too. I think that would be super cute. So maybe someday. I don't know. You know, I don't know. I might be a little old lady with super long gray hair someday. I don't know, but I might try it occasionally. Occasionally, someday. You must be the one who decides. Yeah, that's very true. And if I ever do it, I will probably show you guys. I would make a video about that and show you guys, even though I don't do a lot of like lifestyle, like vloggy stuff. Well, thank God I've got another water bottle. I've got an identical water bottle down here, which is good because my throat's getting dry from talking. 10 INTM said, Weibo's last stream was pretty crazy though. Too bad there's no super chat. I'd love to tip you a few bucks for your DeviantArt stuff at the very least. Aw, and the occasional grump comment. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's funny, normally I don't post a lot of fan art on my Twitter, and it's because I jump around. Like, I can't just like stick to one thing. Like, I'm pretty conservative, you know, I'm a constitutionalist, but I'm also like an LGBT member, I guess, you know, because I am attracted to both men and women, but I love anime, I love gaming stuff, and so it's like, these things, like if I go way for one thing, like if I start talking about anime or video games, it's like all these like 40-something like establishment Republican types are like, and they unfollow me, you know, and then I'll get more followers who are more my age and are more like liberal and stuff like that. So then when I start talking about politics again, like, well, less taxes the better, and the more people who legally own guns, the less criminals are going to get away with stuff, you know, stuff like that. Then the younger, more liberal people who followed me because of my fandom stuff are like, what? And then they unfollow me. So today I posted some fan art that I had drawn yesterday. I drew it last night while I was on the phone with my mom. My Twitter account, it might be in the description of this. It's just Chat_Mort on Twitter. But I posted a link inside on or Sidon drawing that I did, and it like blew up, and I'm like, no, 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 you people would hate me because I'm like politically conservative. Like, stop liking my art. But it's kind of become popular for me at least, and people are liking and retweeting it because everybody likes the Sidon and Link ship a lot. I am new. I'm watching various YouTube channels. I'm a sociologist. Well, that's cool. Sociology is very interesting to me. If you find my stuff entertaining and you have any input or critiques, that would be very welcome. You know, I appreciate constructive criticism, so if you're willing to offer any, that would be wonderful. World Economic Forum says, yes, I am new here. Can you please tell me what type of chat I can have here? I mean, pretty much anything. I have a pretty good little group of people who tend to follow my videos. Everybody tends to be pretty respectful and pretty cool and easygoing, and there's a big variety of people, you know, atheist, Christian, all different political ideologies, some people who love anime and stuff like me and some who don't. So, you know, I mean, you can ask me anything, you can discuss pretty much anything. If you ask anything like too personal or whatever that I'm not going to answer, I'll just tell you I'm not comfortable answering that. But just, you know, just be yourself, and I don't think anybody's going to pick on you or give you a hard time or anything. But it's hard to summarize what my channel's about because I'm incapable of committing to like just one subject. But mostly I talk about politics. I consider myself a conservative, but socially I'm pretty liberal. You know, I don't think that people should be regulated into like living moral or chaste lives. I think people should basically be allowed to do what they want to do as long as they're not violating somebody else's rights. You know, I believe in a small government, and I love America. I love the principles that our country was founded on, and you know, I think it's wonderful and it's so important that America economically and like ideologically allows you to, if you have enough passion and if you have enough discipline, you can pretty much accomplish anything that you want to accomplish. And I mean, the more progressive we get and the bigger the government gets and the more like political correctness kind of controls and shrinks the things that you're allowed to say and do, I think we're losing that. Like, that's what I consider to be the American dream, like choosing something that you truly love and are passionate about, and as long as you try your absolute hardest, you know, in like a free market system, you can go for it, and you'll probably be able to achieve it if you try your absolute hardest and devote all of your time and energy to it. So, you know, a lot of my opinions are very conservative, but then I'm kind of liberal socially, so it's kind of all over the place, but I pretty much fall in like the anti-SJW or like the skeptic. Most of those opinions that are popular with those people are the opinions I hold to, but not always. So I do that. I do a lot of politics. I do talk a little bit about gaming and anime and stuff like that I like. So some of that, and some of it's just silly nonsense. You know, I'll talk about like annoying cultural things that I don't like, or I made a video last week about Instagram and how I'm getting really frustrated. Like, all the little updates that are made to Instagram are making it worse and worse, and it's just confusing and complicated, and I don't like that posts are not in the order that the people you follow uploaded them in. So like, I'll make political videos, and I'll also make videos where I'm just talking about things like that really annoy me. Most of it's just like me talking about my opinions. So I don't know, it's hard to define like what my channel's about, but you know, if you ever have any questions or if you have any ideas for videos for me, I'm always open to that. You know, I might turn you down just depending on whether it's something doable or not for me, but you know, I'm always taking requests. I want to do what's interesting and helpful for you guys, and I want to do things that make you happy. So, you know, if you ever want to ask for any advice, or you're wondering what my opinion is on a certain topic, or you'd like me to look into something like political that's going on, you know, just comment, or You know, I think I've got like my Twitter link down there and stuff. I'm always on Twitter if you want to, it's easy, if it's easier for you to get a hold of me that way. So I do all kinds of stuff. Hold on. I got a text. Okay, it was from my mom. Stuff on Twitter. What's happening on Twitter? I don't know. Okay, people are just liking and retweeting my side link drawing. That's embarrassing. Hold on just a moment. Okay, sorry, I'm just checking to make sure that there's nothing chaotic going on. And if you're new here, say hi to my Trevor phone case. Trevor Phillips is a god, and he's also my boyfriend, and I love him. But also, Prince Sidon from Breath of the Wild is also my boyfriend, so they're both on my phone all the time. Can anyone come from outside America to do business in America, you ask? I have no idea. I know a lot of people come to America and start businesses here. I think as long as you have a visa to be here, you can start a business here. I know there are a lot of people who immigrate here illegally and aren't even like pursuing getting a visa or a green card or anything who work here. But I mean, I'm sure if you were an illegal immigrant and you tried to start your own business, enough scrutiny would be on you, and you'd have to do enough paperwork and get enough licenses that you would probably get in trouble. But I mean, as far as people coming into the country and starting up businesses, I think most everyone can. I mean, I know some nations will ban people from certain countries that like that nation is really in contention with to avoid terrorists or people who are just very anti-American coming in and doing harm intentionally. But I think as long as you go through the proper channels, you know, to get licensed, and as long as you meet like health and safety regulations and stuff in your business like facility, I think pretty much anyone can do business in America. But I mean, as far as the technicalities of that, I'm not sure. Let me see. Do I want to do anything more with my makeup? I already look like a frightening pop art painting. I kind of like it though. It's kind of cool. I think I'll just stick with it like this. This is fine. I'm done with the girly stuff for now, I think. Anyway, I probably won't stay on a whole lot longer. I didn't mean to be on for this long. I was just super excited because I got my new makeup, and I wanted to, you know, slap some of that on my face, and I was just excited, so I wanted to share that with you guys. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you have any questions or anything you want to talk about quick before I head out? I have to say, this like lip, it doesn't really say what it is. Lip lingerie. This like cream product I put on my lips to try. It's staying on really well. You know, I've been talking and talking and talking, and I drank a bunch of water, obviously, and it's stayed on really well. You know, it's stuck in place. It looks a little bit dry, but I should just have put some lip balm on beforehand. But that's cool. You know, it's always nice to try a new product and to find out that it works well. Because sometimes with makeup, you try a new product and it doesn't look so good at all. I have the packaging here for these things. There's a brand of makeup I really like called BH Cosmetics. And I don't have the lip products in here. They're in like a little makeup display organizer in my room. But they're these sticky like lip glosses in a tube that, you know, you pull out the applicator and paint them on. And I mean, both of these colors are beautiful. You know, I went for really bright colors, and I ordered this product online to try it. And it was gorgeous. You know, I put it on and it was stunning. And then, you know, within like 5 minutes, it was smeared all over my face. It was in my teeth. I was like eating it. It was on my tongue. It just went everywhere. It was horrible. So, you know, when you're trying makeup products like that, sometimes it's great and sometimes it's not so great. So you just have to try it sometimes. But anyway, I'm probably gonna head out here shortly. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I really appreciate you taking the chance to stop by and, you know, see what's up here, since some of you are very new. I try to upload twice a week, sometimes a little bit more than that, just depending on what's going on and what I want to talk about. But yeah, if you ever want to get a hold of me and ask me any questions, or if you have any criticism, I don't ever want this to become like an echo chamber. You know, if you disagree with me when I talk about my opinions, please don't ever hesitate to let me know, because you learn a lot more from disagreeing and discussing with people you disagree with than you do just saying, you know, heck yeah, good job, I agree. So, you know, if you want to stick around and check out some of my other videos, that would mean the world to me. I would definitely like to get up to where I can do super chats, but you know, I was close and now they changed the policy, so I'm demonetized. So I can't do super chats for quite a while yet. So, who is this? I'm sorry. I'm streaming through OBS and I've got the live chat up in that, obviously, so you guys can see it on the stream. And stuff pops up in OBS and I can see it real small before it pops up in the like streaming like tab on YouTube. It's weird. So apologies in advance for coming off as super creepy, but what's your ancestry? I dated a girl that was Norwegian Scottish and you have the exact same hair. Oh, my ancestry. That's not creepy at all. I'm part German. It was like my great grandpa. I think the Mosts, my last name is Most, I've never made that a secret. They manufactured weapons. So like one generation way back on my dad's side manufactured, I think, artillery shells for the Germans in World War II. And then the son, whatever generation that is, moved over to America and then was manufacturing artillery for the Americans. So despite the fact that these two different generations, father and son, were supplying weapons to, you know, the opposite sides of World War II, it was just business, you know, it was completely fine to them. It wasn't like personal or hard for them. So I think that's really interesting. A lot of my ancestry is German. I'm probably like a quarter German. A lot of Scottish, a little bit of Irish, a teeny bit of Hungarian. And that's all I know. Mostly German and Scottish, a wee little bit of Irish, and a wee little bit of Hungarian. So yeah, definitely Scottish. That's part of why I'm so fair-skinned, to the point of almost being see-through. So hopefully that answers your question. Yeah, I don't know. I need to ask more questions because I think like family lineage is very interesting, and there's a lot I don't know. So, yeah, I'm probably gonna head out here pretty quick, you guys. I've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes, and I don't know. I want to go, and I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe clean around the house a little bit since I'm done working for the day. Maybe play Age of Empires. When is 4 coming out? When is Age of Empires 4 coming out? Because I've been getting really good at 3. I can almost do 2v2 in expert mode. Like with tech support husbando being the other person, you know, we'll play together against 2 expert level computers and we can just about do it. So I might do some of that. I might work on trying to export that massive video for Thursday. So we'll see. Anyway, yeah, I think I will head out now, guys. But thank you for watching. Thank you for watching me slather girly things all over my face. It doesn't look very good, but it was a lot of fun to attempt, as usual. So yeah, I've got another video coming out Thursday, of course. If you're interested in asking me anything or requesting any kind of videos, just get a hold of me on any of the social media linked there. I have a Patreon if you want to give me money, since YouTube doesn't want people to give me money through their platform. Oh well. And I guess I will see you guys later. So yeah, I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at, and if the day's not going well, do everything within your power to make tomorrow a good day. Decide it's going to be a good day and work toward that goal. I don't know. Just be kind to each other, and thank you so much for showing up, and stay safe, and goodbye for now. Or wait, did I get another one? Okay, you're just saying thumbs up. Okay. Goodbye, string of numbers.